Season 10 of the AFLW has arrived. 18 teams start equal. Who will get it done in 2025? Will the Roos go back-to-back? Will the Lions come back for revenge? Will the Crows have a say on the big stage? Or will a new few teams have their moment to shine? Like the Saints, who haven't yet made finals before, but the recruitments of Baskaran, Clark and Barr will have something to say. Oh, and of course, the return of the team's best player and star midfielder in Georgia Patrikios. Remember the name, Georgia Patrikios. Will the Pies rise up after drafting the biggest name from the draft in the number one draft pick, the young superstar in Ash Centra? Melbourne, is it finally their year to go back to the top where they feel they belong? McNamara flying, Kate Hoare flying, Molly O'Hare arriving. Will the D's go flying in 2025? Or will the Dockers and their returning duo of Kiara Bowers and Ange Stannett have something to say?
Is it Tiger time, led by the best player in the competition in Mon Conti and the player with the booming left foot kick in Ali McKenzie, Ali Dalloway, skipper Katie Brennan? Is it finally Tiger time?
Finally. Don't write off the Eagles. Got the best key defender in the game in Charlie Thomas and the most versatile player in the game and a young superstar in Ella Roberts. With booming young draftees like Lucia Painter, will the Eagles be painting their names as the Premier in 2025? Strap yourselves in. This season is going to be something special. I'm excited. Are you? Let's go!
The 2024 AFLW Premiers, they win by 30 points. Last year, they had the heartbreak. This year, they get the retribution. The Roos have done it by 30 points. Last year, heartbreak, as I said, turned to retribution.
Oh, hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Scoops AFLW show. I'm your host, Scoops, the sole admin of Scoops. Oh, what a W! What a win for the Saints and the Eagles. Both didn't win this week, but both are making their first ever maiden AFLW Finals series. West Coast have Carlton, St Kilda have Adelaide. Great to see the Saints and the Eagles make history for the first time ever in making their first ever AFLW Final Series run. To the Saints, my side, and the Eagles, of course, as well. Heartbreak for the Dockers. Sydney shit the bed and choked the unchokeable. They got no one to blame but themselves. And that's karma for how they treated some people throughout the season. So I like the Swans, but not happy with them. And to be honest with you all, they deserve to shit the bed after what they've done to some people this year. So no doubt about it. But congratulations to the Crows, the Saints, the Eagles, the Blues, North Melbourne, Melbourne, Brisbane. But I'm not congratulating Hawthorn. So let's get right into it right now, because I'm fired up, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time for you all to share this video around. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We'd really appreciate it. A lot to talk about. It's Team of the Week, Supercoach Talk, everything like that, or Supercoach Talk, AFLW Fantasy Score, everything around it. And my Scoops AFLW medal will be this Wednesday night, not Tuesday night, Wednesday night, 7 p.m, live on the YouTube channel. Share it around. Tell your friends. You're not going to want to miss it. Expect the unexpected. There'll be a trailer posted tomorrow night on social media, on Insta and Facebook, so go and check that out when that's out. Get around it. Who will be the third ever winner of the Scoops AFLW medal? Find out this Wednesday night, for the 2025 installment of the Scoops AFLW medal. Jas Garner has won the first 2 years. Well, won it solo the first year. 4-way tie last year with Mon Conti, Ebony Marinoff, her teammate Ash Riddell, and herself. Will Jas Garner be a 3-time Scoops medal winner and break history and be, again, break history, shall I say? The first 2-time winner, which should be the first ever 3-time winner. Or will her teammate Ash Riddell, who is a heavy favourite, become equally impressive, being a 2-time Scoops medal winner as well? You'll find out tomorrow night. All right, let's get around to it. It is now time for that world-famous segment. It's going to be one of the most explosive ones ever on this program. Scoops goes bang, boom. The Hawthorn Football Club, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. Now, can everyone spot the difference? Now, for people listening on YouTube, you can see the screen. I want you all to tell me the differences in all 3 photos. Congratulations to Anne Hatchard, Shannon Campbell, and Jas Garner for playing their 100th games on the weekend, and everyone else who had milestones. I'll acknowledge you all. Now, look at the photo of Anne Hatchard. You got her team on the right of the screen and the Dockers girls on the side of the screen. Shannon Campbell, the Brisbane Lions veteran defender, 100th game. Brisbane Lion girls on the left of the photo, the Pies girls on the right. But please notice the drastic difference from those 2 photos I've just shown compared to this one, where one of the greatest AFLW players of all time, if not one of the best, or if not one of the best, potentially the best ever to play AFLW footy, reach 100 games in the week. And you see the North girls on the right, and that's North Melbourne staff on the left of the screen. Where are the Hawthorn people? Now, the drastic difference, ladies and gentlemen, is Brisbane and Collingwood. Collingwood just got convincingly beaten by the Lions. They cheered off a 100-game veteran the right way, right onto the Pies. Fremantle just lost, basically, effectively, an elimination final. They cheered off their teammate Philippa Seth, who retired and went on to her on her career. And then Anne Hatchard, who played her 100th game from the Crows. They cheered her off the right way and the only way to do it. But Hawthorn, being Hawthorn, did what only Hawthorn do, and that's be complete and utter losers. The Hawthorn Football Club as a whole, this is not a target at the women's program. This is a target at the men's program especially. This is where it started, and the club as a whole. The Hawthorn Football Club should be completely ashamed of themselves for how they acted Friday night and in previous years, for starters. Now, I'm going to put the photo on the screen for you all to see here. Potentially one of the greatest players of all time, and no matter whether they're the worst player in the comp, the best player in the comp, the best of all time, the worst of all time, it doesn't matter. If someone's reached 100 games or a milestone game, you have both clubs be on either side to cheer them off, just like the Roos girls have done here, just like the Pies girls did, and just like the Dockers girls did. Now, I heard complete and utter bullshit excuses from fan bases of the Hawthorn Football Club. Typical Hawthorn fans making excuses for everything. The Hawthorn Football Club should be ashamed of themselves. I've said it a few times, and I'm going to tell you now why. Now, I don't want to hear, they don't need to cheer her off. She hasn't retired. Don't care. So 100th game, Jas Garner, one of the greatest AFLW players ever. Now, this is my statement in comments to this. This is typical Hawthorn. In both competitions, the men's and now the women's, the club as a whole needs to have a good, hard look at themselves. Any milestone game or send-off or retirement, celebration period should be celebrated by all clubs involved in the game. And Jas Garner, on top of everything else, is one of the best players in the competition. Hawthorn have a trend with this. Nick Watson, Jack Ginnivan, James Sicily, and their coach, Sam Mitchell, who are arrogant players, disrespectful players, and coaches. Might I remind you, Hawthorn are the same club that had one of their greatest players of recent memory in Luke Bruce have a milestone game. I think it was his 300th against Port Adelaide in a final. This is when the Ken Hinkley debacle happened and everything like that. James Sicily was one of the Hawthorn players cheering off Luke Bruce with Jack Gunston. Gunston did the right thing because Jack Gunston's a good bloke. James Sicily and Sam Mitchell, during the send-off for their 300-game superstar at the time and Luke Bruce, were too worrying about bitching at Ken Inkley and Port Adelaide players because they had a bit of beef going into the week. Well, newsflash. Watson, Ginnivan, Sicily and Sam Mitchell in the men's program have started this. And now it's stemmed to the women's side and it's been now the whole club. Poor form yet again from the Hawthorn Football Club. Collingwood cheated off Shannon Campbell and Freo after losing an opportunity to play finals and effectively in elimination finals still had the respect to cheer off Anne Hatchard in her 100th game. Poor form from Hawthorn. I know I'm not the only one saying this. Now, I've heard excuses. They may have had a post-game function, blah, blah, blah. I'm just giving you the Hawthorn example of Luke Bruce. That shows they don't give a shit about their own, okay? Also, they show they don't give a shit about their fans, Hawthorn, because they never properly go around after games for fan engagement. So for the excuses of people want to say, oh, they've got a post-match function, so you're going to tell me if one of Hawthorn's greats has a retirement or a milestone game, you're not going to stop? You're going to tell me that you're not going to stop for your fans? Hawthorn Football Club should stop worrying about doing stupid TikToks and stupid goal celebrations for mediocre goals and have guys like Ginnivan and Watson carry on like they are top shit. Maybe they should focus on football, actually earning their victories, not getting handed games due to pure luck, other teams' inaccuracies in front of goals and costly opportunities. I'm telling you right now, the Hawthorn Football Club are going out in straight sets. They're going to get absolutely smashed by North Melbourne again this week, and it's going to be a great sight to see. And then whoever they play the week after, I hope they lose, and they probably will lose because they'll go out in straight sets unless they get protected due to umpiring or the other team can't kick straight or take their opportunities. Hawthorn have fluked it to this final series. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They were lucky to beat everyone they beat prior to St Kilda in Cairns. Every victory they had prior to that, so the Bulldogs, Brisbane, Fremantle, Carlton, all tin ass and luck. Pure luck. That's all it is. And see, they come up against a good side like North Melbourne. Now, granted, no one can beat North Melbourne. I get that. But Hawthorn face a good side. They get shown their true colours, that they are just a mediocre team. In both programs, by the way. And I do not want to hear Hawthorn in their next public appearance apologise for not cheering off Jas Garner. If you really were sorry, number one, you wouldn't have made that mistake. And number two, you would have addressed it in your post-match press conference, Daniel Webster. Now, Hawthorn have disrespected players who have come and gone from that football club in the men's and women's program. Look no further than players that have left the Hawthorn women's program in the last few years where they were out delisted or out traded. They've disrespected those players, and now those exact same players are flourishing elsewhere at other clubs or whatever else they're doing in their lives. Hawthorn call themselves the family club. Or how about this? You ain't the family club. How about this? You ain't a respectful football club at all. How about you actually be respectful for once? Actually engage with the fans in the fan engagement. That's what fan engagement means. I don't know if you realize that, but fan engagement means engaging with the fans, okay? And respecting greats of the game or anyone with a milestone game. You know, I'm telling you right now, no other club would do this because they're not disrespectful like the Hawthorn Football Club clearly are. But wouldn't it be funny if the next Hawthorn player to have a milestone game where they get cheered off, the opposition they're playing, whether it's North or someone else, go, nah, you're going to get what's coming back to you. But no other club would do that because they're not disrespectful like the Hawthorn Football Club are. Whose bright idea was it not to cheer off Jas Garner? Whoever is in that position of power that told them not to do it, they should be sacked, effective immediately. That is complete and utter disgrace. And saw some of the North girls were really, really angry with Hawthorn. That's right. They'll let their actions do the talking. They will absolutely pummel the hell out of Hawthorn this week, and they'll lose yet again by a big margin. And then Hawthorn are one step closer to going out in straight sets. And how funny that will bloody be. And if they do somehow get through from the semi-final to the prelim, whoever they play in the prelim will absolutely murder them on the football field. They will get smashed like 40 points. Hawthorn Football Club should be completely embarrassed, and typical Hawthorn not to come out to apologise straight away. And any apology from this point onwards is completely fake. Lift your game. Pathetic. Told you that was going to be the most explosive edition of Scoops AFLW of all time. Now, if you're a Hawthorn fan or not a Hawthorn fan and you're condoning the behaviour that they did, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You should be embarrassed of yourself if you think what Hawthorn did was the right thing. It was completely pathetic from Hawthorn, seriously. Quite embarrassing and disrespectful. And this is not the first time Hawthorn have disrespected people as a club, individuals, or players. I really enjoyed that. All right. Now, on the Scoops AFLW medal Wednesday night, I'll be revealing my All-Australian team, my most valuable player, my rising star, and maybe some other awards as well. And obviously, the main event, the Scoops AFLW medal. Who will win? Find out Wednesday night. Can't wait for you all to find out and see who has got the award. Alrighty. Now it's time to go through for the last time this year, my Scoops Round 12 AFLW Team of the Week. From the back line, the pockets, Sarah Allen and Harriet Cordner. Fullback, Kaylee Kimber. Half back line, the flankers, Emily Peace and Zoe Wakefer. Centre half back, Charlie Thomas. Wingers, Michaela Bowen and Laura Gardner. Centre woman, Charlie Rowbottom. Half forward line, the flankers, Tyler Hanks and Lucy Single. Centre half forward, Eden Zanka. Forward pockets, Gemma Houghton and Tara Bohanna. Full forward, Talia Randall. Ruck, Mim Strom. Rovers, Ella Roberts and Georgie Prasparkas. Interchange, Eliza West, Abby McKay, Jas Garner, Nina Morrison and Megan Fitzsimon. The emergencies, Sarah Goodwin, Charlie Mullins, Sarah Goodwin, Charlie Mullins and Aisling McCarthy. So I'll put it on the screen for you all to see right here, right now. So ignore Morrison's name being on the emergency list as well. I don't know why I had a name on there again, but she had a really good game. Right, so Sarah Allen had like 19 intercepts, about 19 disposals. So Sarah Allen just had a really good game. She was really impactful and as a key defender for the Crows in the back line. She just had a really, really strong game. And she was a key point as to why they got the job done in a close game over the Dockers. Kaylee Kimber did a good job on Jessie Wardlaw, so that's why she's in the team of the week. Harriet Corner had a solid game for the Blues in the back line. Emily Pease for the Giants had 22 disposals and about 10 intercepts, and she played a really, really strong game. Charlie Thomas had about 19 disposals, was really good for the Eagles down back. A lot of her intercept disposals and 1%ers. Zoe Wakefer, the same, had a lot of good disposals, just a lot of drive out of the back line. Despite their close loss, I thought she had a really good game as well. Michaela Bowen kicked 2 goals and 31 disposals. She was easily best on ground for me in Geelong's loss to Melbourne. Charlie Rowbottom had 32 disposals, about 20 of those contested, like 9 clearances. Charlie Rowbottom doing Charlie Rowbottom things. Is this the last time we've seen Charlie Rowbottom as a Gold Coast Suns player? There's every chance that's the case. Laura Garner had 35 disposals for the Swans, but, you know, had a really good game as well, despite them choking against the... So Laura Garner, as I said, had a really good game and not the greatest efficiency, but it was pouring at Coffs Harbour, to be fair. Tyler Hanks kicked a goal in 28 for the Demons. About 7 clearances, had a really impactful game. Lucy Single had 29 disposals, about 7 or so clearances. Just a lot of key impact contested possessions for Lucy Single, and their close win over the Tigers. Gemma Houghton made history and became the first ever AFLW player to kick 100 goals, to one under Gemma Houghton, kicking 4 goals on the weekend as well. Huge accomplishment for Gemma Houghton, first AFLW player to reach 100 goals, just ahead of Kate Hoare and a few others as well. And Jas Garner, of course, as well. Jas Garner doing everything. Goals, awards, everything. Talia Randall kicked 4 goals in their big, impressive win over the Hawks. Pretenders are Hawthorn. Tara Bohanna, kicked a couple of goals, but they were really vital late in the game. It's a really good sharpshooter at goal, Tara Bohanna. She had only 5 or 6 disposals, but 2 goals, 4 score involvements. She was just so damn impactful late in the game. It wasn't a strong week for forwards, so that's why she gets a nod this week in the team. Mim Strom, the best ruck in the competition, the All-Australian ruck for this year. There's your spoiler there. 20 disposals, 30 hit-outs, a lot of clearances and contested possessions. Mim Strom doing Mim Strom things. Speaking of doing great things, it's Ella Roberts, 27 disposals, key impact. One of the best players on the ground on the weekend against Carlton. Ella Roberts doing Ella Robert things. Georgie Pasparkas, 32 disposals, a lot of clearances, a lot of drive through the midfield, bursting out of packs and everything like that. Georgie's had a great year and should be recognised come All-Australian time. Eliza West at 31 disposals. She kept trying, and had a solid game. Abby McKay, a goal in 24. Her second half was strong. Her whole game was strong. The last quarter, when they just were trailing, she did get a controversial goal where supposedly Belle Lewis shoved her, which that was complete and utter shit. But other than that, Abby McKay had a really good game. Kicked a goal from that free kick that wasn't there. Goal in 24. Abby McKay, the captain this year, just doing really well when she hasn't been out injured. Jas Garner. Again, I'll acknowledge Jas Garner in her 100th game and say congratulations because, Hawthorn don't know how to be respectful, apparently. She was really good, had about 28 disposals, had a key impact in the game. Nina Morrison kicked 2 goals with 20 disposals, 21 maybe. When Geelong were out of it and looked to get dead and buried, Morrison was just there to lead the charge. No, let's stay in this. We've got a chance here. And Megan Fitzsimons has had a really consistent year, got 26 disposals and about 7 clearances and played really well. Sarah Goodwin was great for the Crows, having about 24 disposals. She was next. Charlie Mullins at 25, and Ashley McCarthy kicked a goal, and 24 was really close in the team as well. All midfielders this week, or winger for Charlie Mullins. So that's my team of the week. Comment down below what your thoughts are on that. The last one for season 2025, at least the home and away season. I don't know about finals, so probably won't do any for finals. So we'll have to wait and see there. All right, so now it's time to go through my AFLW Fantasy Score. Now, I scored 1,448. Final ranking for the year, I was just over 3,078 or something last week, and now I'm 2,670 is my final draft ranking. So I'm really happy with that. Emily Pease in my team and Sarah Goodwin back won me my league matchup against a good mate of mine who I just beat by 14, helped me improve my overall ranking. I already had Jenna Richardson who scored another 30. So I had to undo a trade I did to take the gamble, and it paid off. I thought I had a really good year of AFLW Fantasy. There was a lean patch like around 4 to 6. We had injuries and suspensions and shit scores, and missed out on Kiara Bowers and Ash Riddell early days, Jas Garner as well. I feel like that's what really cost me a top 1,000 spot in the ranking. In fact, I think it definitely did. And missing out on Neve McLaughlin on reflection was one I should have started with when she was like 600k. But in the end, she ended up being over 1 million. So, that's one player I should have got earlier. But, it is what it is there. But overall, I'm really happy with my season. Thought it could have been better, obviously, for the reasons I just outlined. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how I went. Ella Roberts, done really well for me this year. Mim Strom, the same for most part. Alice O'Loughlin pre-injury was really good for me. Post-injury was fine as well. Bonnie Toogood was a great selection. I kept her during her suspension when most didn't, and she helped me have a good score in the forward line. So everyone pretty happy. Zali Goldsworthy served her purpose in the team for most part of the year, for a good part of it. So overall, pretty happy with how I went this year. Did not go for Chloe Malloy, and that didn't hurt me at all because she was injured for the last 3 weeks, and there's some inconsistent scores as well. So it is what it is there. Now, let's review the last round game, shall we? So let's get the scores up. So it was Hawthorn 18, North Melbourne 67, 49 points to the Roos. Hawthorn are pretenders, just like I said. Eliza West was really good, but not many others can say they were really good. They got no ruck at the moment. No ruck, no Hawthorn. It's as simple as that. There really was no Hawthorn with a good team anyway. They are pretenders. Riddell and Garner. Riddell sat on the bench the last 10 minutes. Ruby Tripodi played a part in the midfield group. Taylor Gatt was back from her injury. It's great to see. The North back line is so reliable. Carney. Eliza Shannon been a surprise this year. Didn't play in last year's winning grand final, played in the losing grand final the year prior. Maybe in this year's granny, you would think. Tessa Boyd's in the side now, being a replacement player at the start of the year. So, their backline's gelling really well. The whole team's gelling well, and Talia Randall kicking 4 just summed up her great year. And Blaheem Bogue having an all-Australian level year as well. West Coast 22, Carlton 42, 20 points to the Blues. Don't get it twisted. West Coast hit the front through Lucia Painter's great goal, which brought them up by 5 or something, or by a point after trailing by 5. But then Carlton went bang, bang, bang. Vesio's top goal, bit of a fluke, but a great goal nonetheless. But Abby McKay, Mimi Hill were both really good for the Blues, and had a key impact in Tara Bohanna, as I mentioned earlier, the reasons why. Not many disposals, got 2 goals, but great impact as well. The next game, GWS 24, Adelaide 81. GWS are terrible. Simple as that. Emily Peace had a good game. Cambridge McCormick done all right. Fleur Davies kicked a goal, which is great to see. But Port Adelaide, sorry, not Fleur Davies. Fleur Davies, sorry. She played really well for the Giants. Darcy's at the Suns, and Giselle's at the Swans. And Georgia Davies will very likely be a Gold Coast Academy player, or is a Gold Coast Academy player, Gold Coast AFLW player in about a month's time officially. Or will she be somewhere else? I have to wait and see. Likely the Gold Coast to join Darcy, if she's still there as well. Port Adelaide, Abby Dowrick, Matilda Schultz, Gemma Houghton, Indy Tahu, some of the Powers better players. Molly Brooksby had some moments at her heads as well. But again, congratulations to Gemma Houghton on an amazing achievement, reaching 100 goals, the first ever AFLW player to reach 100 AFLW goals, just beating Kate Hall and Jas Garner. One out to Gemma Houghton. And the goal on the siren, Jules Robinson laced out Gemma, kicked the goal after the siren in their last game of the year. Now, had Gemma not succeeded with that goal, likely Garner or Kate Hall would have got it, the milestone first. But it's a big moment. The first ever player in AFLW history to reach 100 goals, Gemma Houghton, former Docker, current Power star forward and veteran forward, doing really well and had a really good game on the weekend. Well done again to Gemma Houghton and everyone who had a milestone accomplishment this round. Hawthorn, take note. Richmond 25, Gold Coast 39, 14 points to the Suns. Richmond should be disappointed with this game. We really can't be losing the Gold Coast. I had high hopes for Richmond this year. I had them like 5th in my ladder predictor. They played finals last year. Close loss to Port Adelaide in that final series elimination game in Adelaide. The side stayed the same. They had a Sierra Greaves, the top draft pick. Had a few injuries, yes. But they just didn't seem to click well this year. There's definitely changes that need to be made through coaching staff and everything like that. That needs to be a given. I think they got a great team. I think everything else around that needs to be changed. Grace Egan had a good game, as did the Suns, Charlie Rowbottom, Neve McLaughlin, and Lucy Single, some of the better players. Safana Harris had a solid season as well. Sydney in pouring rain 11 to Essendon 14. Thank you, Essendon. Finally, I can say thank you to Essendon. After you screwed West Coast in round 3 at Windy Hill, when Sophie Alexander got that lucky goal from a lucky mark. Well, the goal wasn't lucky, but it was from a lucky mark, from a floating kick that landed in her lap and took it like a slips catch in cricket. But yeah, they now allowed West Coast to play finals. So thank you, Essendon. And the Essendon girls I saw posting her Essendon supporters now, apparently. So that's interesting. But yeah, Chloe Adams had a really good, consistent year in her second year. No Maddie Pasparkas. Bailey Hunt, who's a top-up player, made her Essendon AFLW debut. Brooke Sheridan, who made her debut, had some moments in the game, which is good. But yeah, they got the win. Georgia Nanscorn, like 16 tackles. Georgia Nanscorn's a tackling machine. Took a great late mark in the last 30 seconds or so, which won them the win. And I'm sure West Coast are so happy with Essendon right now, clearly. Geelong 45, Melbourne 59, 14 points to the Demons. Look, I don't think Demons were bad, but I don't think they were amazing. I thought Geelong kept in it for a good part. And in the third quarter, Zanka just hit like bang, 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 goals in a row. Kate Hoare as well, nice dribble goal. And that kind of put the margin to bed. Geelong got a few goals in the last quarter, but unfortunately it is what it is. Bowlby had a really good game, 2 and 31 for Geelong. Georgia Pasparkas, 32, was good. Nina Morrison was 2 goals and 21 disposals, was really good. But yeah, at the end of the day, they weren't quite good enough, and Melbourne got the win. Congratulations to Kate Darby, Shelley Scott, and Meg McDonald on their careers after they all retired after the weekend's games. See, Hawthorn, take note. Melbourne also cheered off those Geelong players I should have added as well. So there you go. Big difference between Hawthorn and every other club for respect. In that case, there is some other people out of the clubs that are like Hawthorn. Now, what's the next game to go through? Collingwood 32, Brisbane 52, 20 points. Brisbane kicked 6-16. There's the case in point right there. Like there was 2 quarters where they kicked like 5 and 6 behinds in those quarters respectively. They should have won by 40. They didn't. Collingwood kept it relatively close. So credit to them for that. Britt Benici was a laid out, so that doesn't help. Belle Dawes, Ellie Anderson, Sophie Conway were some of their better players. But yeah, well done to them. And then the players for Brisbane who had more milestones like Shannon Campbell in this game, respect something Hawthorn don't know what that means. St Kilda 27, Western Bulldogs 72. Bulldogs seem to be the bogey side in the men's and the women's, but one thing I will say is the Saints are playing finals and the Bulldogs are not. Who are they playing next week? We've got Adelaide. Who have they got? No one, because they're not that good and they're not making finals. Now, this loss was embarrassing. I'm not going to get it twisted. Really disappointing. Really frustrating. But 2 players were late outs, Trudgeon and Barr. We've got like 10 injuries this year. That doesn't excuse the effort. I don't think the effort was really there. I'm hearing that some of the players were a bit crook going into this game. So it was also 31 degrees and Jamie Lambert got injured during the game. Should be okay this week, hopefully. Was rested for the last quarter. So, just everything against us in the last game. Just hoping they can turn it around against the Crows in the elimination final, because that performance was pretty bad and embarrassing, to be honest. It was that embarrassing, I actually got mad about it. It's just, really annoying. The Bulldogs, there was no standouts in this game for either side, to be honest. The last game, which was determining who would make finals out of those 2 in the end after how the results went previous to this game. Adelaide 29, Freo 17. 12 points. I thought Grace Kelly kicked 2 important goals, one in the third as well. Last quarter, I watched this whole game at Moorabbin after the Saints game, and I was really disappointed for Freo. They had all the chances in the world. Adelaide went in the inside 50 like 3 times and scored twice, goal-wise. Freo went in about 7 times, didn't score a goal once. And Hayley Miller had some great marks, but some costly kicks in front of goal or passes late towards a goal. She had a good game. She tried. I'm not going to discredit her for that at all. She played well, but kicking let her down, and the rest of the team, they delivered the ball inside 50. That's what cost them the game, in my opinion. They had opportune chances, and they just shit the bed with their opportunities in delivery inside 50, which is really disappointing. But the Crows are playing finals, and the Doggers, unfortunately, are not. But they had a good run, the Doggers. But the Crows are playing finals. And speaking of finals, the 4 matchups for the final series, Friday night at Icon Park. It's 7:15 Victorian time. It's North and Hawthorn. Obviously, North will be winning, and they'll be winning by 38 points. Saturday, 3:05 p.m. at Icon Park. It's Carlton hosting West Coast, 3:05 Victorian time. This is a really hard game to tip. They just played each other on the weekend. But I'll be tipping West Coast to win this one by 7 points. And then Carlton's run of form there. All right. No Saturday night game is complete and utter bullshit, might I add. Sunday, 1:05 p.m. at Icon Park. Victorian time, it's Melbourne hosting Brisbane. I'll be tipping Brisbane in this one by 7 points. And the last final for week 1, the elimination final at Norwood Oval, 3:05 p.m. Victorian time, 2:35 p.m. Adelaide time. It's Adelaide hosting my Saints. I'm going to back my Saints. We beat them in round 1, but a lot of injuries since then. A lot. Got like 12 now. Hopefully a few are back from laid-outs this week. Trudgeon and Barr, and Lambert stays in. Hopefully Vesely is in this week as well. I'll be tipping the Saints, obviously, in this one, but by 1 point. Yeah. So my final thoughts are simply this. Come on, Saints. Get the win. I know we got a lot of injuries, but I'm so happy with everyone at the Saints for making finals for the first ever time. Through injuries, through it all, I am a true supporter, fan, and member. I'll be there whether we're going good or bad, like I always have been since I've watched football. Thank you. Come on, Saints. Come on, West Coast. Come on, the Roos. Come on, the Lions. And Hawthorn, you deserve to get smashed by over 40 points. Thank you. Go Saints!